Hi everyone, today I'm going to be playing Spirits of the Rice Paddy, which is a great game about farming rice. In these paddies here, we will be trying to build hexes, plant rice, there'll be plenty of water coming in and out, we'll be trying to move stones with oxes and things, all sorts of crazy things going on. And this will be the solo version, and for that we use this little sheet here with some modifications to the rules. And we have a little solo player one hex field there. This is the normal field. The dummy player just has this tiny little thing here, and there isn't that much different. You set up as normal, except you only have 5 achievement tiles. Normally it's 6 more than the number of players, and you get these solo cards as well that you need to shuffle. But other than that, it's pretty standard to the normal setup of the game. I'm not going to start off with a big explanation of what goes on in the normal game. I'll explain everything as I'm going to do it, and it works mostly the same as a normal game. So I have this setup card here that I've drawn, so it's showing me where to place my rocks, and I start off with 3 extra walls, an extra labourer who comes from the market there, and 4 rice, which I have right here. The dummy player also needs 10 labourers next to his board and 1 water in the hex. So normally at the start of Spirits of the Rice Paddy, there would be a draft between players of the spirit cards, passing them back and forth to build a hand of them. The rules give us the instructions for the solo draft. So to start, we draw 4 cards and choose 1 to keep. And these are going to give us different powers, but also determine turn order. And turn order can be really important in this game, because our paddies are on the same kind of hill, and whoever's first is at the top of that hill, and the rainwater here will come to that person first. So if I'm first player, I will get all of the water, and I can do what I want with it, and anything I don't use trickles down to the dummy player. If the dummy player gets it first, he can hold 10 water in his hex and really stop me getting anything. So I have to really try to be first, I think. So these are the 4 I've got, and I get to pick 1 of these, and then I'll continue the draft. So the lower numbers are more attractive for the turn order, but the better powers will have the higher numbers on them. So let's see. Duck Trainer. Ducks can operate in flooded paddies, and we will be using ducks to remove pests and fertilise paddies to make them worth more money. But they can only normally do this when water has been taken out, which can be a pain. So that would be nice that they can operate when there's water there. Add a 1 hex paddy to your farm. It starts planted and with water from the supply, because we start off with 1 that's like that. It starts off with water in it, and it's got planted rice. So I could have another one, and this symbol means that I would get this every spirit phase. Rice Blessing would just get me 5 rice every round. Or I could get a worker every round. Now that could be nice because they cost rice. And there is a tax when you buy as well, so the more you buy in one go, the more you have to pay. So it could be worth getting a free worker every round. I think I'm going to go for Duck Trainer because it's the lowest number, it's a nice power. And these spirit cards, the first ones we draft, only go 1 to 20, so 18 and 19. As much as I want that free worker every round, I'm going to hold off the temptation and take Duck Trainer. Now the next draft stage is we draw 3 and keep 1. So look at the next rain card. Also, you are first during claim achievements. Well, that doesn't matter so much because the dummy player will not try and claim achievements. 2 walls every round could be very nice from the start of the game. Your market tax is reduced 1 step, and this is where I was saying if you buy more than 1 thing at a time, you have to pay tax on top. This would reduce it, so if you bought 2 things in one go, you would actually end up paying no tax. If we take a look at the achievements, these are some bonus points that I can earn during this game. We've got 5 different ones here. I do want livestock, but there's nothing for getting a lot of workers. See, I'd like the market tax, but Stone Blessing might be worth having. A lot of walls without spending any workers from the beginning of the game could be nice. I think I'm going to take that. And it's a very low number as well. And finally, we just draw 2 and keep 1. So, Bountiful Blessing. Every round I could have a livestock or a worker. That is very nice, and that is an achievement to get a lot of livestock. Or livestock can be used as workers for removing weeds. I think I'm going to go for this. Let's go for all livestock all the time. Now there'll be another draft later in the game, but the interesting thing here is that the cards I discarded, so all of these high numbers, now get shuffled up, and these are the spirit card deck for the solo opponent. He's going to draw 3 of these, the same as I'm going to play my 3. He's going to draw 3 of these, and there is only, I think there's a 10 in there, I think there was a 1 in there, so he can be before me in turn order in certain circumstances, but I've got a good chance in these 6 cards that I have lower numbers, and he doesn't benefit from the powers, unless they're the interactive powers that would give other players weeds and things. So the next few stages play as in the multiplayer game. The first thing, reveal the rain card. So there is 5 rain available, and add to your largest planted paddy or grown paddy a weed. So we have weeds growing in our paddy there, and the weeds can be removed with workers in our action rounds, but they reduce the yield of our harvest. So that one hex paddy would be worth 5. We use the black numbers until the very last round, but now it's got a weed in it, it's only going to be worth 2 if I leave the weed in there. So now we play a spirit card, and we would secretly pick which one. And for me, the highest number I've played counts as the turn order number. So I'm going to start with my lowest number, which is going to be 2. And I will save these for later on, which I might as well because I don't have these animals yet. Then we flip the top of the dummy deck, and he has number 12. And it doesn't matter what it says on there. It just means that he will be going second, which is great because he would hoover up all of the water this round. So step 3 is claim the water on the rain card. Player 1 does this, which is me, and that goes onto my reservoir. I imagine a lot of this will be leaking out. Then number 4, we resolve the spirit cards. So my power is that I will gain 2 walls, and I started with 3 from my setup card. So I have some walls to put down to make some hexes. And now step 5 is allocate labor. And this is where my actions come in. So let's move this out of the way for now. I can assign workers and animals, if I have them, to any of these actions. And they will resolve in this order in the resolution phase as well. So I have these workers available. I have 1 extra from my starting 10. So I would like to get a 3 hex paddy in my farm so I can claim that achievement. And it's not going to be that hard to do because I have 5 walls to start with. So I only need 1 wall. It doesn't cost you any workers to actually build walls that you have stored, but it's going to cost me 3 workers or 1 ox to build a wall. So I am going to assign 3 workers there, I think, and then I'll be able to build a 3 hex paddy here because we want the water to flow kind of trickle down because it can't go back up later. So we could, if I build a 3 hex paddy here, it's going to cost me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walls because we've got these ones on the outside already and these count. And you do need a gate as well for the water to run out of, but that's just the same as building a wall. You decide which one the gate will be, and you can change it later as long as you're not linking it into a different finished paddy. I will also want to remove this weed, so we can have the water going somewhere else, but I definitely want that weed removed. Now building this 3 hex paddy here, I have a rock there, which means I'm not going to be able to fill it with water or plant anything yet. So I think I need another paddy. So if I built 2 more walls here, I would be able to have a 1 hex paddy here, and it would kind of flow this way and maybe can flow back this way later. So I would need 2 more walls, so I can put another 2 sets of guys up there. And then I have 1 left over. This is going to be a 1 hex paddy. I'll be able to plant it with water later. So I think that's my plan. I'm not going to have much money for buying anything yet, but once this 3 hex paddy kicks in, that should be improved. So now an extra bit for the solo game. This is where we reveal a solo card, and it shows how much water the dummy player is going to let out and how much water it takes in. So if the dummy player was first, the water it's got would flow to me, and then, based on the water in its reservoir, it would use 4 of it, and then the rest would flow to me as well. So if I had been second this round, I would get 2 water, which is all I need. So maybe I should have taken a better card. But here we go. So that water flows out back to the supply, and he is going to take 4 water in if he can. So now we resolve the actions. So I can take 3 walls from the supply. And let's add those to all of my walls that I started with. So the plan was to make the 3 hex Paddy here ready for next round. We'll find out now if I've counted right. There we go. So 2 of these need to be gates. So this can be a gate. So the water flowing into this Paddy can then flow into this one. And one of these has to be a gate as well. Maybe in the future this would be... This decides where the next Paddy's going to be, basically. Let's put it there. We can move this later if we suddenly decide it's going to be down here. But I think it's going to be there. So those workers are now used up. And then we'd go to remove rocks. There's nothing to remove. Then I would go to water out. And this shows where I am kind of wasting water here, because I can have this just flow out of my entire system. So it would flow into this, can't stay there, and we would just have it flow out. But I can have it stay there, which is where I want water. It means that I'm only going to use 1 of this 5 water. So thinking about it now, but although when you pick the spirit cards, you don't know how much water's coming out, and you don't know which how much the dummy player is going to be using. So I've had water out, now I can remove weeds. I have 1 worker to do that, and he's going to be working in this Paddy, so he removed that weed for me. Then I'm not removing pests, I'm not harvesting anything because nothing's grown. Now we have water in, and so water in starts with me. I have some water flowing back in there, and I cannot fill this because there is a rock in there, so all of this flows out to the dummy player, which is good in a way, because if he is ever first, then hopefully his Paddy will be full of water, because he's got 4 of his 10 already, although he will be letting some more out. So let's see, now that water's in, any planted rice will automatically grow. There we go. And I'm going to plant some rice in a Paddy with water in it, and it's 1 worker per hex, so I can grab some planted under there. And I believe these are supposed to be underneath the water, but the water's supposed to be smaller than these, and the hexes are supposed to be quite big for the rice, but it's come out differently, but there's nothing wrong with doing it like this. So now we can move to step 7, which is claim achievements. If I have achieved anything here, I can claim something from it, and I have a 3 hex Paddy in my farm. It's not very useful at the moment, but I have a 3 hex Paddy, which is going to earn me 7 rice. So now I have 11, which is a shame really, because if I had 12 I could buy 2 things, but I can only buy the 1 thing. And that was the market phase, by the way. You can buy as much as you want, and I'm sure I've said this, depending on how many things you buy, you have to pay this tax in addition. So the more you buy, it gets ridiculously expensive. And the more things you've got, especially labourers, it gets really expensive. Because it would be nice to have more workers, but I want those rocks gone, and I want livestock for the achievement as quick as I can get it, really. And then number 9, we advance the round marker. So we are now on round 2 of 7. So as before, reveal a rain card. Oh, not again. So there is 4 water available. And add to all planted and grown paddies. So I'm going to have to spend workers removing these weeds again. Although this isn't as important because I'm not going to be harvesting it this turn. This, on the other hand, is very important. So now we play a spirit card. And so I think I will do this. So my highest number is 9. I've got trained oxen now. oxen can be used for, as if they were workers, for removing weeds. And let's see what the dummy player is playing right now. He is playing 20. So he's definitely not going first again. So then player 1, who is me, claims the water that I so desperately want. And now we resolve the spirit cards. So I get 2 walls. And I have that power. And then we are back to allocating labour. So I definitely want to assign my ox to remove a rock. I have to remove a weed from that planted paddy so that I can harvest it for its full value. And since this paddy is going to be empty, I'm going to want to plant in it. So that's 3 workers to plant the 3 hex paddy. Now this is going to be all ready to harvest, and that's going to cost me 2 labourers. And I presumably want to replant it, so that will be another one. So I have 4 workers now left. Now I could spend one removing weeds from here, but I would need to take water out of it. And I'm thinking now that there is 4 water available to me. I have to let the water out of here. If I'm going to let it out of here as well, I'm then going to have 3, 4, 5 hexes to fill. And I only have 4 water. You can't partially fill a paddy. I'm just going to let this stand, I think. And I'll have to try and remove it next time, which is annoying because it means I'm going to waste a worker. I'll just grab a wall. So that's my labour. Let's see what the card is that comes out. So 2 water is coming out and he's going to try and take 4 in. So 2 water goes out. And now let's resolve the actions. So I'm building 1 wall. So I have 3 to put down. Let's just start going. Start going here. So I have to think what I'm going to do now. Am I going to have a 5? Probably not. Let's put this here. Maybe this will be another 3. So they're done with. Remove rocks. So this ox is going to drag that rock away. And we can now use this paddy. Now water out. I'm going to let the water out from here. Although technically we'd let it out from here and then this would run to there. But you get the idea. So this flows to the dummy player. And I can remove weeds. This worker is going to remove weeds from here because this is about to be harvested. Then these guys are going to harvest it. So this goes away. And if we check out the yield chart, there is nothing in that paddy but sweet, sweet rice. And I can grab 5 for my troubles. So now we have water in. Let's let all of this water in. So there we go. I'm not letting any more out. Now we have automatic growth. So this rice will grow. And then planting, I am going to plant in 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, time to claim achievements, and there is nothing that I can claim. Hopefully we'll be getting this one soon, but I'm wondering, there is only 1, 2, 3, 4. There are only 4 more chances to get achievements, and I'm not sure I'll be able to do all of them 1 per round, but we'll try. Let's see how it goes. So in the market, I again don't quite have enough for 2 things, unless I want to buy a labourer and some livestock. I think I will stick to just the livestock again. That's going to cost me 4. And now we advance on to round 3, so there's going to be another draft after this round. So let's reveal the rain card for round 3, and we're not getting much luck with the weeds and pests here. So 5 water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add a pest to all planted and grown paddies. So it's just 1 per paddy. And now we play a spirit card. I only have 1 to play. So, oh wow, this, I had actually forgotten all about this. I was thinking this is going to be really annoying for the water. Am I going to have enough water? But I can use ducks without having to get rid of the water. That's great. I only have 2 ducks right now, but that's going to be fantastic. And Dummy plays a 19. So he's played 12, 19, 20. So I've been quite lucky there, I think. So then claim the water on the spirit card, that's me. And resolve the spirit cards. So that is just 2 walls. And now we allocate labour. So I am definitely, let's see. I have to use a duck to take the pests out of here. I absolutely have to. Let's see. I would also like to do it in another field, but if I can take the rock out of here and make this another paddy, that could be even better because I need to remove these rocks. I think I'm going to use the ox to remove the rocks. So now let's see. I'm going to have to harvest this hex here. That's going to take 2 workers. I'm going to want to replant it, I think. And I'm going to want to remove weeds from it as well. So that leaves me with 7 workers. So 3 could build a wall, and then this could end up being a size 2 paddy, which could then be planted by 2 more workers. And it's a shame I didn't buy 1 more worker last round, so that I would be able to use these 2. I'm wasting 2 by doing this, whereas if I just keep building walls, then I'm not getting anywhere with rice, so I'll put those 2 to waste. I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do, but it's what I'm going to do. So I've allocated the labour, and we can see what goes on. There's going to be 2 water out, 6 water in, if he has anything to do about it. So we build the walls first. I am building an extra wall, which will be a gate. And where's the gate going to run into? I think maybe... Let's see, if it runs into there, it's running into rocks, which could be a problem. So we could have it run into there, and maybe it's going to run down this way if we decide to separate this. So we've got a nice little zigzag of gates here. So the ox will remove a rock. And then we do water out. So I am going to let water out of this paddy here and keep it in all the others. So that runs down to him. He is going to let 2 water out. Then remove weeds from here. Remove pests from here, and now when the ducks come in to gobble up the pests, they also leave behind a little present, and they fertilise the paddy for you, which means that this is going to count as 1 bigger. So then harvest, I'm going to harvest this paddy there. It counts as size 2 because there is fertiliser there, so that is worth 12 rice instead of the 5 that it would normally be worth. And we take all of the fertiliser and everything out of there. If there were weeds or pests left there, they would stay behind. So now water in. So I will let this water in. Can't keep it all, unfortunately. And so 2 is going to go to the dummy player. So he has 4 now. And then we have growth. So all of this grows. Not quite 5, unfortunately. It's just 4 hexes. It's 5 for the achievement. But next round we will hopefully be harvesting a 3 hex paddy. If we work this out right, I think I can do those. Let's see. So then planting, we have 3 workers who are going to plant 3 more rice. And that is it for the actions. So now I think, so for achievements, unfortunately I can't do anything here again. So that means I'm not going to get to do all of them. So perhaps this isn't one to worry about. I'm going to get the 4 livestock, I think, at some point. And this is worth the most points and the easiest to do. This is kind of hard to synchronise everything at the moment. I can do it, I think, because I'll be able to plant these 4 next turn once they've been harvested. And if I can just get a 1 hex, then 5 will grow. It's just that you can only get 1 achievement per turn, so I've kind of left it a bit too late. I think this turn I will buy livestock and a labourer. So that's going to cost me 9 plus 4. So that's going to cost me 13 to buy those. So I still have 7 left. I couldn't buy anything else. And so we've had the market phase, advance the round marker, Spirit Draft 2. And I think I'm going to stop just there for now. If you'd like to see more Spirits of the Rice Paddy, then the link for part 2 will be on the screen. Or if you've had enough and you'd like to know what I think, then the link for that will be on the screen as well.